What was draft day like? We ask everybody who got drafted, like, what was that process like?
My draft day was kind of crazy because of the expectations that I had that I was going to be a Cowboy. And
wow.
Okay.
I
didn't know this. All right.
Now, I told you about my background, about my mom being in church, a Christian, and my mom was, really into church. She really wasn't into sports. You know how you guys take that visit to a team and then they host you or whatnot,
Top 30.
Yeah, Dallas was a little different. They hosted a lot of players. They didn't host you, individually. So I come back home, thinking that I'm going to be a Cowboy. So I come back telling everybody in my hometown. I tell my mom, and then my mom is like, okay, son, if you say you're going to be a Cowboy, then you're going to be a Cowboy. So I remember on draft day sitting there, you got the ESPN camera there in the house that I was in. And I remember my mom sitting there with a Bible on her lap. And it was kind of crazy because I was like, okay, Mom, you here? I know you're over there praying, but it's kind of weird that my mom's here in this sport type of moment. And so when I tell her I'm going to be drafted and the 8th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Greg Ellis, and that was my, supposed to be selection. And so, like I said, I seen my mom's, energy and facial expression, and then I was feeling a certain type of way. So I just think that, I know there's more to this and we don't have time for it, but you guys, you two, the Kelce brothers, you guys don't understand as far as there's been a lot of blood as far as the family blood that goes through the National Football League. But I think is being successful as a pair of brothers, man, I think that's really what I tip my hat and commend you guys for, because that's really hard to do. You got one brother over here having success. You got another brother, and you guys are really competing against each other. But at the same time, you still have the love. So anyways, my brother played for the Minnesota Vikings before I was drafted. He went to Ohio State. He backed up Corey Stringer and Orlando Pace. And my brother called me first. He's like, hey, man, Coach Green wants to talk to you. And I was like, man, I'm not really into Randy, we're going to draft you. Okay, whatever. So because I was, like I said, man, I was already depleted from, not getting, the 8th overall pick. So when it came to the Vikings pick, they picked me up. And then all of a sudden, I get the call and I'm like, thanks, coach. You won't regret this. All I want to do is just play football, man. It's been a bumpy 24-hour road for me. I was an emotional wreck. I was like, coach, I just want to play football. That's all I want to do. So I go back that night, get ready to get on my plane, and I ended up breaking my ankle. So if you ever look at my rookie trading card, you'll look at me and Dennis Green on a practice field, and I have an air cast on my foot because on draft night, I had to get my mind away from not getting drafted. I went and played basketball and broke my ankle.
Broke the ankle?
Yeah, broke my ankle.
What?
So I, hobbled through an airport, went through Chicago O'Hare, hobbled. They seen me jumping. They went and got a wheelchair for me, took me to my gate, and then all of a sudden I went to Minnesota. They got me the gate, brought me to the coaches, and first thing they done to me was took me straight to the doctors and put the boot on me.
What did they say?
They couldn't say that. They knew my history. They knew my background. So, I mean, it's like, okay, things happen. So, like I said, man, it was like, it was a crazy moment. But like I said, just being able to get drafted, my brother called me and was just like the Minnesota Vikings want to. So me being up there in Minnesota for my first couple years, man, I had my brother with me.
Man, that's so cool, man.
You got your revenge on the Cowboys.
Oh.
Talk about Thanksgiving. What was that game like? Did you know coming into it you were going to go off for that much?
No, I really didn't. I think that how you sit at home as a kid and you see all the athletes like score a touchdown, and all of a sudden the camera goes right to that athlete. And I know both of you guys have done it because I've seen it. How am I? Am I right?
Yes,
okay.
No doubt.
Every time you know it.
So my biggest thing was being on that stage, Thanksgiving Day. I just wanted to say, hi, Mom. That's all I wanted to do. So that game, we're in the cold tub because we just played on Sunday. Y'all guys know how important the cold tub is.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't want to get in the cold tub, but the veterans forced me in there, and I went up and having those 3 catches, that iconic game. But I think for me, just going up there, just being able to ignore the noise of seeing familiar faces, because I remember when I took that trip before the draft, I seen, some faces, as far as the recruiting and the scouts and things like that. So me going out there, just seeing some familiar faces, I had to be able to ignore that but at the same time, put my focus on going out here and having a great game. But then out of all the things that I'll say this, with that game, with my mind being everywhere, my wide receiver coach, God rest his soul, Hubbard Alexander, and Chris Carter, Jake Reed, our wide receiver core 3 deep. We all stayed together that game. And it was my rookie year. I mean, I know my coming out party was the Green Bay Monday night, but that game against Dallas, guys, it was kind of like it was so emotional. And it was kind of, we've all been in a zone before, where you think like every block I'm going to get and there's no ball that I'm going to drop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, for
So
sure.
that game right there, I know it was just three balls thrown my way, but I was like, dude, I was in the zone that day and I was going to not let anything stop me.
3 balls for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a heck of a day, right?
I hang my hat on that one.
One of the producers is a Cowboy fan, grew up in Texas. He has this in there. I got to ask, and we know you're involved with Boulder. Do you still have that same game if Deion's playing?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Because the thing about it, quick crazy story. I got to tell you this, guys, and the guy the Cowboy fan, you're going to be sick at this story. Real quick. When I get to Dallas, I'm already sitting up here wondering about what is my day going to be like. Okay, so I come down to the lobby, and one of the security guys tells me, he said, "Hey, Randy, you're not going to come to dinner tonight. There's Mr. Jones sent the limousine to get you, and the limousine is going to take you over to Primetime's house." And I'm like, I've never met Deion Sanders. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know, crazy. So that night, crazy. I go to Deion Sanders' house. He tells me, the story of, "Hey man, I'd love to play with you. Jerry Jones wants you. He wants me to talk to you." So guys, there was no way that I was leaving Dallas that, in my mind, I was believing that I was going to be a Dallas Cowboy. So
that is crazy.
What a pump fake, man.
Right?
For the pump fake. So back to what you were saying, it had nothing to do with if Deion was playing or not. One thing that I'll tell you that Chris Carter was always up for the big games that we played the big guys. Like we had Aeneas Williams, Hall of Fame brother out of Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
Played him. We played James Hasty and Dale Carter, cornerbacks out of Kansas City. At the time, they were both Pro Bowlers. Mm-hmm. So being a veteran player, he always used to tell me about, "Hey, man, you got to be worried about this one. You got to worry about this one." I remember talking about Deion. And he was like, "I don't know if he's going to play, but if he does, you got to watch out for this. You got to watch out for that." So I was just up to the moment of my rookie year, knowing it was Thanksgiving, everybody talking about me and Deion Sanders. And I was like, man, I can't not worry about Deion. That's how focused I really was, guys. I really was focused that game.